Good morning students. Welcome to the class. Today's date is 7th September 2020. So we have been doing lesson number 5, that is the Northern Mountains. So we have discussed a lot about the mountains during our live classes. Now let's do a quick recap of what we did and what we have discussed in our previous recorded class. So we have discussed about the mountain range, the definition of the mountain range. So a mountain range is a geographical area marked by a row of mountains that usually have similarities in features. So it is also known as mountain chain or belt. So the mountain range has also another name which is known as mountain chain or belt. So the Himalayas are the highest mountain ranges in the world. So in Sanskrit, Him means snow and Ale means abode. So as a whole, Himalaya means abode of snow. Then we have come across the extent of the Himalayas. So in India, particularly as we are talking about India, so in India, the Himalayas stretch across Jammu and Kashmir in the northwest to Arunachal Pradesh in the northeast. Then we have got three important Himalayan ranges. The first one is Himadri, also known as the Greater Himalayas. Second is Himachal, also known as the Middle or Lesser Himalayas. And the third one is Shivalik, also known as the Outer Himalayas. So these are the three important ranges of the Himalayas which we are going to discuss in details in today's class. Let's move on to the first range, which is the Himadri. So as you can see here, Himadri is the northernmost range and always covered with snow. Now this range is the highest range. Out of the three ranges, the Himadri range is the highest range. That's why as it is highest, so most of the mountains are covered with snow. And Mount Everest with the height of 8,848 meters. Just remember the number, the height of the Mount Everest, 8,848 meters, is the highest mountain in the world. And this mountain, Mount Everest, is the part of the Himadri range. Now, huge masses of moving ice called glaciers are found here. So, in Himadri range, you are going to find a glacier. These glaciers melt and form rivers. The Ganga originates in the Himalayas from a glacier called Gangotri. That means Ganga is a glacier-fed river because it's already mentioned here. If you see these 2 points. So first we have come to know that glaciers are found in the Himadri range, right? And these glaciers, they melt and form rivers. That means they joins to the rivers, and Ganga, which originates from Himalayas, and the origin is called as Gangotri. It is a river that is a glacier-fed river because the water comes from the glacier. Now let's move towards the climate of the the climate of the Himadri range. How the climate is in the Himadri range. So snow peaks are covered with snow throughout the year. So as you can see, as these are the highest mountain, so most of the peaks are covered with snow all the year. The 12 months a year, the peaks are covered with snow. Then rainfall receives scanty rainfall. That means hardly it receives any rainfall because instead of rainfall, they have a snowfall there, okay? And the climate is very cold throughout the year. If you have visited the cold regions, if you go to Leh Ladakh, or if you go to some snowy places, then the climate is very cold in those regions. And if you see the mountains, we can see the mountains from far, and it is visible that the peaks are covered with snow. Now let's move towards the Himachal range. This is the middle range or the lesser range, right? The Himachal lies to the south of the Himadri range. Now this range actually lies to the south of the Himadri range. Here the mountains are not as high as the Himadri range. Beautiful valleys like Kashmir and Kulu and hill stations such as Mussoorie and Nainital are located in this range. Rohtang Pass is located in this range in Himachal Pradesh. Now as you can see on the screen, there is a picture, right? This is the picture and this is actually a Rohtang Pass which we have already seen in our live classes, but that was not visible very clearly. But here you can see on the screen that the whole area is covered with a thick layer of snow. Just you can imagine how much snow how much the snowfalls it has, and people used to move through that road. It connects to the Leh Ladakh. Okay, so this is the pass, the Rohtang Pass, and that's why it is very famous, because most of the year it is covered with snow. Now let's move to the next, that is the climate in the Himachal range. So in Himachal range, that is the middle one, about snow, only a few peaks are covered with snow throughout the year. Not every peak, but only few peaks are covered with snow throughout the year. And rainfall, it receives low rainfall. So compared to the like Himadri, it receives at least some kind of rainfall, and winters are very cold and long. Yes, if you have visited Darjeeling, if you have visited Sikkim, then Mussoorie, Nainital, so these are the places, these are the hill stations where the winters are very cold and long compared to ours, right? And they actually receives rainfall, but not the amount is much lesser than what we receive in Assam. Okay. Now let's move to the third range, which is the outer range. It's the Shivalik range. The Shivalik is the southernmost and the lowest range of the Himalayas. So these are the lowest of the Himalayas, and these are called the Shivalik range. This range has an average height of 3000 meter to 4000 meter. Remember the average height of the Shivalik range. It's 3000 meter to 4000 meter. It extends from the Tista river in Sikkim. If you have ever visited Sikkim or Darjeeling, then Tista river is a very famous river in those areas. So Tista river is in Sikkim. So it extends from Tista river, then it across Uttarakhand, and then move towards the northwest to the Beas river and into the northern Pakistan. So this range is quite a long one. And the south of the Shivalik range is flat, marshy area called the Terai region. So south of the Shivalik range is very flat and marshy area, means it's full of trees, okay? And that particular area is called Terai region. So this is a very important point, Terai region. Clear? Try to underline it. Now this is a two picture of the Shivalik range. Now Shivalik range, the first picture is the hill. So we have already talked about the hills, right? Shivalik range have very low mountains. So the first picture is the low mountains, and the second picture is the Terai region. That is the flat marshy area. So this is the difference. So it has the hill. Shivalik range has the hill as well as the Terai region, which is a flat land. Clear? So this is the features of the Shivalik range. Not like the Himadri and Himachal. Shivalik range are much lower than the other ranges, and it has hills as well as the flat land. Then what is the climate of the Shivalik range? Snow. Only a few peaks are covered with snow throughout the year. You can count them. Snow, only very few are there where you can see the peaks are covered with snow. And rainfalls, it receives moderate rainfall. Now we have talked about that Kaziranga falls into the Shivalik range, right? That means what? We used to have a lot of rainfall. That means we have a moderate rainfall. Now this is talking as a whole. So it's a moderate rainfall. They receive moderate rainfall and the climate is moderate throughout the year. That means it has summer, it has winter, it has autumn, it has spring, everything. Okay. So the Shivalik range is this one. Now let's move towards the importance of the Himalayas. So the Himalayas are important because of the following reasons. So let us read why the Himalayas are very much important for us. They protect us from enemy attacks by forming a natural one. So we have already talked about the Siachen Glacier, right? And Himalayas, not only Siachen Glacier, even in the this one, we have the talk about the line of control, right? So they actually form a wall for us to protect from the other countries, that is from our enemies. Then next point is they keep India's climate warm by protecting us from the cold winds coming from the northern Asia. So the cold wind, now this is a wall. If I blow the wind from this side, now this is a wall. If the wind blows from this side, so what will happen? It will touch the mountain and then it will reflect it back, right? So it will not come towards this side. In the same way, these mountains actually keep India warm. So this part is India, these are the Himalayas, right? So this part, the India, it keeps our country warm from the cold winds that come from the northern Asia, that is in China and like those stuffs, okay? Those countries, the northern India, northern Asia have the cold climates. So it protects us from those cold winds and keep the India warm. Clear? The next, they stop the rain-bearing monsoon winds from going farther north, thus ensuring good rainfall over the northern plain. Now, in the same way, the mountains, when the rainfall comes, it doesn't move to that side. They stop it here, and what happens? If the rain actually it covers all the northern plain, and that's why we have such a good cultivation of land. Okay. Then we have the next point. They provide us with useful resources such as wood, medicinal herbs and fruits. Now Himalayas has lots of trees. So and they have forest and trees. Now that means full of forest and trees means they are full of resources. Resources means we get wood, then we have medicinal herbs and fruits. Then they are the source of rivers such as the Ganga, the Yamuna and the Brahmaputra. So Himalaya actually are the source for the Ganga, Yamuna and Brahmaputra. Now let us come to this part, train my brain. What does the word? Now you have to do this as a classwork on your copies. Okay, you have to write it on your copies, EVS 2 copies. You don't have to submit B, but after the unit test, you have to submit these things. So train my brain. What does the word Himalaya means? The word Himalaya means abode of snow. Name any one resource that we get from the Himalayas. So you can mention any one of the resource that is easy. For example, you can write they provide us with useful resources such as wood, medicinal herbs and fruits. Then let's come to the workbook of EVS 2. So here we have the multiple choice questions. Number 1, how many parallel ranges are there in the Himalayas? A3, B6, C5 or D4? So we have already talked about it that Himalayas have 3 ranges, right? The Himadri, the Himachal and the Shivalik. Therefore, the answer is A3. Then we have number 2. What does the word Himalaya means? Snow white, snowy mountain, ice cold or abode of snow. So we have already discussed it a lot. The answer is abode of snow. Then we come to the fill in the blanks. Number 3, glaciers are common in the Himadri region. We don't find glaciers in the Himachal or the Shivalik range, but in the Himadri range, right? So the answer will be Himadri. The average height of the Shivalik range is 3000 to 4000 meters. Then we come to the next one. Very short answer question, number 5. What is the other name for the Greater Himalayas? Remember the other names. For greater Himalayas, it's Himadri range. For the middle or the lesser Himalayas, it's the Himachal. And for outer Himalaya is the Shivalik range. So the answer is the Himadri range. Now name any one famous hill station of the northern mountains. Now see here, Nainital or Mussoorie. Now I have already given you accept any relevant response, because you can write any of your choice, any hill station of your choice, but it has to fall under the northern mountain. Okay, but I have given two options, Nainital and Mussoorie, but you can write it on your own as well. Then the next is number 7. Define mountain range and give one example. A mountain range is a geographical area marked by a row of mountains that usually have similarities in features. For example, the Himachal range. So this is how you're going to write the answers on your copy. I will be forwarding the question answers written form of these answers in the Google Classroom. Now let us circle the odd one. Number 8. Himadri, Himachal, Terai and Shivalik. If you see here, Himadri is a range, Himachal is a range and Shivalik is a range. But Terai is a land, right? It falls under Shivalik. So Terai will be the odd one, so you have to circle the odd. Then we have number 9. Godavari, Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra. Now Godavari is a tributary. Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra are the rivers that comes from the Himalaya. Then Godavari does not come from Himalaya. So number 10 is Nainital, Gangotri, Mussoorie, Kulu. Nainital is a hill station, Mussoorie is a hill station, Kulu is a hill station, and Gangotri is the source of Ganga. Then we have number 11. Northernmost marshy highest mountain, always snow covered. Now if you see here, the mountains, the Himalayas mountains are mostly northern. We have already talked about it. They are the northernmost mountains. They are the highest mountains and always snow covered. But marshy, it is a feature of the Terai region, right? It doesn't fall into the mountains. So we will be circling the marshy. Then we have question number 12. Imagine you are visiting the Shivalik range. Would you find snow? If yes, where? How would the climate be in general? So this is as a whole, we have to write about it. Yes, Shivalik, yes. Shivalik has, we will find snow in Shivalik, but only in few ranges, right? Sorry, few peaks. Yes, only a few peaks in the Shivalik range are covered with snow. It receives moderate rainfall and the climate of this region is moderate throughout the year. So we have already discussed about the climate, so you are going to write those answers here. Question number 13. Distinguish between the climates of the Himadri and the Himachal ranges. So Himadri and Himachal. So Himadri, what? It receives scanty rainfall. Very few. Hardly it receives rainfall. But in Himachal, it receives low rainfall. Not moderate, but very low rainfall. But in Himadri, it doesn't. Okay. Then number B. It has a very cold climate throughout the year. While Himachal, the winters are very cold and long. The summers are not that much cold, but only the winters are cold and long. But in Himadri, as these are the highest mountains, so throughout the year it is covered with snow, and this region is very cold throughout the year. So these are the differences between Himadri and Himachal. So this is it for today. Here I end my class. Please write this question and answers on your EVS copy. I'll be forwarding it in your Google Classroom. So write it down and submit it to me after the unit test. So that is it. Thank you.